Hello everyone and welcome to the world of Aspiraties. This is of course our online course for the preparation to the theory exam in the Netherlands. But before we get lost on the roads and before we get lost in the signs, let me introduce myself and let me introduce you to the company that's providing this course. My name is Sari Fayomi. I'll be joining you through the 11 videos that will cover the entire book. And as you can see on the screen, we have two logos. Those are Aspiraties logo or Tumuhat logo. We have two logos. That's because we translate actually the Aspiraties to Arabic. So it's known to the Arabic speakers as Tumuhat. And you hear this name a lot from the newcomers to the Netherlands because we provide different kind of services to the people from the Middle East. So they know us as Tumuhat, while the English speakers, they know us as Aspiraties. Aspiraties is a leading Dutch company in training qualification, and it's supervised by high educated Dutch employees. Aspiraties was established in 2017 in the Netherlands, and its main office is located in Goes in Zeeland. We have about 28 academic employees in various specialties. And Aspiraties obtain technical support and expertise from companies in the Middle East. In addition to the current course that we are studying at the moment, the theory course, we have different kind of courses and services. Let's get to know those. For example, we have the occupational health and safety, which is known as VCA courses. We have those available in different languages, including English, Dutch, Arabic, and Tigrinya. And we add some other languages all the time. We have the theory courses for truck driving license with its 3 exams. We have ICDL courses, which is the International Computer Driving License. And also we have our system, ASMS system for schools and universities management. And we are the experts when it comes to web designing and applications. It doesn't matter if it's simple or complex. So after this short introduction, let's get started with the course. Alright, so now we are done with introductions. Now it's time to get to the main course. We're going to learn first the basics. Let's think of it like we're learning a new language. So first, when you learn a new language, you start up with the letters, right? So you learn the letters and then you start improving from there. You add 2 letters together to make up a small word. Then you will be able to make a sentence. So first, we are going to talk about the road users. It's very important to define each user on the road because we all have the right to use the road, right? So, we can see bicycles, we see snowfits, we can see a person with a horse, maybe we have a parade going on. So there are all those people using the same road. So it's very important to know the types of the users, to know how to deal with the situations based on this. So let's get to it. Road users, we have 3 types of road users. First, we have pedestrians, we have drivers, and then we have special cases. Let's talk about pedestrians first. So pedestrians, as you can imagine, are those people who are walking on the pavement, let's say. So we have this beautiful lady walking down the road. She's a pedestrian. We have another lady pushing a pram with her baby. She's also considered as a pedestrian. Another lady done with her shopping using the shopping cart. She's also a pedestrian. People on rollerblades or skating, riding a scooter. People with the bicycle. We can see here that this gentleman over here, he's not riding the bicycle. He's just pushing the bicycle. He's walking side by side with the bicycle. So he's considered as a pedestrian. A worker using this loading trolley, or a worker using a construction cart or if we have a pedestrian walking a dog, for example. So all those are have equal rights as pedestrians, but there are some exception cases, however. Let's talk about the exceptions. Here we have a person with a dog, but unlike this lady over here, this is a blind person. We know because he's using this white stick. So this person has a higher priority than the lady and the other normal pedestrians. Same like a blind person using the white stick, or a handicapped person using a wheelchair, or let's say elderly or senior people using the mobility scooter, using a cane, using a walker, or let's say a normal gentleman, just a normal person, but he had some injuries, so he's using crutches. So now he has to be treated as a higher priority than the normal pedestrian. This case, however, we have this gentleman over here with injured arm. He broke his arm, unfortunately, but he cannot be considered as an exception because he can walk normally. He can cross the road normally, so we don't have to give him a higher priority than the normal pedestrians. Now, where we can meet the pedestrians, mainly they are located on the pavement, of course, right? So here we have a road. We have the pedestrians walking on the sides of the road. We can see that this section, of course, is for the pedestrians here and here, and this section is for the vehicles. But that doesn't mean that that's the only place that we can encounter the pedestrians. So there are some other places as well. Let's get to those. Let's say if there is no pavement, where the pedestrian can walk. So they can use some other sections of the road. There is walkways. This sign, we can see it mainly near the shopping centers or parks. This means that this section of the road is dedicated for the pedestrians. Let's have an example of this. All right. So let's have a look over here. We can see that we have the sign that we spoke about. So we have a walkway. This sign is put for the people who are using this road. So we have this gentleman over here. He's not, or he's allowed to use this road, but let's say that we have a person, let's say on Snorfit, coming this way. So a Snorfit, he's not considered as a pedestrian, he's considered as a driver. Same if we have a person riding a bicycle. See? So they cannot use this way. They have to continue going forward. If, however, the person on the bicycle get off the bicycle and push the bicycle, he can use this way as a normal pedestrian. Here we can have, here we can see this gentleman over here. He's with the dog. We can use this section of the road, no problem. All right. So let's get to the other place where we can meet the pedestrians. Now, if there is no walkway or there is no pavement, the pedestrians can use the cycle path. So if we can see this sign, it means that the pedestrians, they can use this section of the road if there is no pavement or walkway designated for them. So let's have an example of this. Here we can see that there is this road over here, but there is no section for the pedestrians to walk. So they can walk on this path as well. Even that this sign is telling this is for mopeds and for bicycles, but pedestrians can use it as well. All right. So while the pedestrians are using the bicycle lane or the cycle path, we have to take in considerations some certain rules to follow. So let's have a look on this picture over here. So we can see that we have a bicycle lanes. So this lane is for the bicycles. This lady is going this direction. And this gentleman over here, he's driving into this direction. We have the pedestrians who are using the road as well, using this bicycle lane. So what do we think over here? We have this lady and this young boy. They're heading this direction. What do you think? Are they right? You walking on this part of the road, or they're wrong? How about those? Those are walking against the road, right? So this road is heading this way, but they're walking on the opposite direction. Actually, those are considered wrong and those are right. Why is this? Because if you're walking, of course, you don't see behind you. This lady over here, maybe she distracted. Maybe she met with her friend at school. She's looking to her. She's not looking to the front. So the bicycle keep going. Then she hit the woman and the boy. But in this scenario over here, we have those people walking. Let's say this person got distracted. He saw this beautiful lady over here. So he got distracted. So they can see that there's a bicycle coming toward them. So they can just go aside and avoid the bicycle. So this we have to keep in mind. So when a pedestrian is using the bicycle lane, the cycle lane, they have to walk against the direction of the bicycles, against the direction of the lane, right? So this is wrong. This is right. Let's have an example of this. So here we have a sign telling us that this is dedicated for the bicycles. So it means like people on the bicycles, they can use it. This section over here for the people going this way, and this section for the people coming from this way. So if I'm a pedestrian, I have to use this section of the road, not this, but this. All right, let's get going. Now we are done with the pedestrians. Let's talk about drivers. Who are the drivers? This includes all kinds of vehicles. Doesn't matter. If it's a bicycle, it's considered as a driver. The gentleman on the bicycle is considered as a driver. Or let's say a gentleman driving a heavy truck, he's also a driver. So here we have all types of vehicles that we can see on the road. All those are considered as drivers. Also, the small vehicles, like as I said, the bicycles, the snorfits, the moped, this is the light moped, or the mopeds or motorcycles or motorbikes, or even the electric bicycles. There are some power assisted bicycles which are using the electricity to help the person on the bicycle to cycle and move around. There are some certain rules to discuss about light mopeds, mopeds and motorcycles. So light mopeds, the snorfits, like what we have over here, those are like tiny motorcycles. They have this type of plate. It's either like this, horizontal, vertical, or horizontal. Those people, they don't have to use a helmet while they're driving, and its maximum speed of those light mopeds is 25 kilometers per hour. So it's not very fast. Now we have the mopeds or the broomfits. You can see this being used by delivery people. So this one has a yellow plate. So it can come like also vertical or horizontal. The drivers, however, who are driving this type of vehicles, they have to use a helmet. And the maximum speed of this one is 45 kilometers. Next, we have the motorcycles. The motorcycles, they have this type of plate number. It's yellow. and come like in two shapes. This one, however, as we can see over here, it has the Euro logo and NL, like this person is coming from the Netherlands, and he's allowed to travel across Europe, right? So it has the Euro sign, and the maximum speed of this one is 130 kilometers per hour. Now we have the big animals. Unlike the dogs, we have like horses and similar type of animals. People with similar type of animals to the horses are all considered as drivers. It doesn't matter if they're walking, if they're riding, or if they are having a carriage or a cart with them. So this person with the horse, even that they're walking on the road, we treat them as drivers. If they're riding, the same thing, or if there is a cart with the horse, we also consider them as drivers. This is just a small note that we have to explain. We have these two stickers on the back of trucks. We can see that this truck has a sticker like this, and this truck has a sticker like this. What's the difference between those? These are articulated trucks, meaning if the head of the truck turns, the body of the truck will not start turning till the back wheels are already reaching to this section of the road. So let's say you're on a road and then you have traffic jam, and we have a truck over here, and you want to overtake the truck, right? Because let's say there are too many cars, but the right side is open. So while you are in the back of the truck, if you see this sticker, you know that if you come inside this lane and this truck will start turning to this section will get closer to you when this truck reached like till up to here. So mainly you'll get stuck, and if this truck driver, he didn't pay attention that there is someone behind you, this truck will crush you. However, this means like it's like a normal car. So when this truck will start turning, all the truck will move together, unlike the articulated trucks. Now let's talk about vehicles that have priority over others. Those vehicles like a police car, ambulance, or fire engines. So we have to give those vehicles priority if they are using the sirens and the lights. If they're not using the sirens or the lights, the emergency lights, those lights, then we consider them as a normal car. Now there are some vehicles that looks like there are priority vehicles, but we should not consider them as priority vehicles. Among those vehicles are like those transportation trucks. It means like it's carrying some dangerous materials maybe. Or the Sion trucks, those, when there is some road works, those trucks, they come and they put the lights on, so you notice that there are some workers working to fix the road or something. And we have this ambulance over here. This one is a bit tricky because it looks like a normal ambulance. However, this one is for pets in general. So like for dogs, cats, or even sometimes if there are some injured animals on the road, they might call this ambulance to assist those animals. As we can see here, it looks like a normal ambulance, but it says Dieren ambulance. In some cases, it even has those lights and maybe sirens, but we should not consider those as priority vehicles, as I said earlier. Now let's move on. We have now some special cases on the road. Let's get through those. Some of those are a bit tricky, so we'll talk about them extensively in the upcoming chapters. But let's now discuss some of those special cases. Let's talk about the military convoy. We have three types of military convoys that we can encounter. First, we have this type of cars, this type of vehicle. As we can see, it has two blue flags and one light on the left, blue light on the left. It's on the right here, but it's on the left of us if we are seeing from the opposite direction, of course. So this is the first car. It always comes with two flags and one blue light. Now we have the cars or vehicles in the middle. It comes with one flag and one blue light. And finally, we have the last car of the convoy, last vehicle of the convoy. It always have one green flag and one green light. So let's talk about this a bit in details. So if we have a convoy made of two vehicles, then we have this scenario. The first vehicle will have two flags, two blue flags on the front and one blue light. And then we have the last vehicle, which is having the green flag and one green light. If let's say we have a convoy made of three vehicles, then the first vehicle must have two flags and one blue light. Then the vehicle in the middle, one blue flag, one blue light. And then the last vehicle with one green flag and one blue light. As we can notice that the first vehicle and the last vehicle are always the same. Doesn't matter if it's two vehicles or 1,000 vehicle, let's say. The vehicles in the middle always having this one blue flag and one blue light. Here could be two, could be one, could be 100. We don't know. But we know that there are still vehicles coming. So let's say you are on the road and you encounter this vehicle. Then this vehicle should give you a priority because the first vehicle, let's say if there is a red light, the first vehicle will stop. Then you can cross normally. But let's say you reach to a traffic signal, let's say it's green, and you see those cars passing by. You see a car with one blue flag. It means like the first car of the convoy already departed. So you keep on waiting and waiting and waiting till you see the car which is having the green flag. Once you see a vehicle with a green flag, it means the convoy is finished and then you can cross. The next special case that we have is the funeral procession. So this always how the first car looks like in the funeral procession. It always has a flag followed by the rest of the cars. It's normal cars. If those cars are having priority, they must have this funeral flag. If they don't have this flag, then we don't know if those cars are normal cars on the road or they are a part of the procession. So in order for us to give priority to those cars, they must have the flag. There are some other types of the flag. As we can see here, we have different shapes used by different kind of people. I believe the best way to get you prepared for the final exam is by checking the links in the description where you can have the exam itself. So we have examples and we have exams from previous year that we brought for you. So to make it simple, if you can pass the exam on our platform, you can pass the exam easily at the CBR. Now there are some other types of flags that we can see on the road. Sometimes we can see a lady or a gentleman holding a red flag, usually nearby the tram. This is to give us a warning, like there's a tram coming and we have to stop. So this, we have a red flag for this. Also, we have this signboard, which is a Bob. Who's Bob? Bob is a guy, could be me, could be you, but this guy, he agreed that he will not drink and he will drive his friends who are maybe drinking or having a party or something. So Bob, he will consume alcohol only as per the limit which is allowed to him. Let's say he's allowed to consume 0.5 of alcohol. So he can consume alcohol up to the approved limit. So his friends, if they are under the influence of alcohol, or if they're smoking some marijuana or something, so Bob can drive them home. So the person who is agreeing to not drink alcohol, or to drink up to certain limit, to the allowed limit, we call him Bob. And we see always on the highways a sign to tell us that you should have your Bob with you in case you're going to have a party. Alright, so next we have this flag over here. Let's say you are a big shot, a rich gentleman, a rich businessman, and you have your own flight, your own jet at the airport. So in order for you to go inside the airport, you can get a permission, and you can bring your limousine with you inside the airport, but you should have a special flag to put on your car. So these flags mean like you are allowed to enter to the airport ground. We can see this near the airport. It should be on the vehicles driving on the road nearby the airports, or near flight field or something. Finally, we have this little kid over here holding a red flag. This is just something to warn us, like there are kids playing. So if you are inside a residential area, when you see this this mark over here, this structure with this red flag, you slow down and you be extra careful, because we don't know if a kid will run suddenly on the road, or maybe as we know, maybe they're playing with the ball or something, so the ball will come on the road and maybe they follow it. So you when you see this, you have to be extra careful that there are some kids around. This you can buy yourself, by the way. You can order it online. So if you have kids and you have a garden outside your home, outside your house, you can buy this and you can put it outside when your kids are playing outside, so the cars will be more careful when approaching your house. Another special case that we have is the parades. We can see those during festivals or something, playing music and walking down the road. Those are considered as drivers, even that they are walking, but we consider them as drivers. Same if we have some military show or something. And same applied for the funeral procession on foot. Let's say that we have a road like this. This is 2 lanes coming and going. And then we have a road like this, also 2 lanes coming and going. All right. So let's say you are on this lane over here. Okay. And you need to go this way. But while you reach to this intersection over here, you notice like there are parades going on. There are people playing music and walking down the street. As per the priority rules, you have always to give priority to the drivers coming from your right. So you reach here. Those are not drivers, right? Then you can keep going forward. Because if they are pedestrians, it means if they are here, they can cross till here. No problem. You don't affect them by any mean. But since it's a parade, you see people walking, then you treat them same as drivers. Like there are vehicles on this way. So you wait here till the parade will come and cross up till here. Then you can keep going on your way. So you give them the same priority as if they are drivers. Alright, that's pretty much it. Now let's have a little quiz. Let's discuss few scenarios and see if we're able to guess. We have this beautiful lady, a person pushing a pram in a residential area. Do we consider her as a driver? Do we consider her as a pedestrian? What do you think? And of course, we consider this lady as a pedestrian. Even that she's pushing a pram doesn't mean that we should treat her as a driver. Next, we have this lady over here on the rollerblades. What do you think? Is she a driver or a pedestrian? And of course, we consider her as a pedestrian. Okay, one more. Here we have a lady pushing another lady on a wheelchair, and we consider this as a pedestrian, of course. We have this case. We have this man walking the dog. Do we consider this man as a pedestrian or as a driver? Of course, he's a pedestrian. We spoke about this case. As long the lady is walking, not riding the bicycle, then she's a pedestrian. And finally, this case. She's walking a horse. She's not riding the horse, but she's walking by the horse, side by side. Do we consider her as a driver or as a pedestrian? In this case, of course, we consider her as a driver. So it doesn't matter if you have a horse, if you're riding the horse or you are walking the horse, you are considered as a driver. Finally, here we have some important words that we used during this session, and we are going to need to memorize that word so we will be prepared for the final exam. Of course, here we have it in English, Dutch, and Arabic. I'm not going to read all those. I'm just going to leave it here on the screen for you to check it. You can also pause if you need some more time, and you can check it and go through it by yourself. Just one important note that in the Netherlands, they usually follow the British English, not the American English. So there are some differences that maybe you call it a sidewalk. In the exam, it comes as a pavement. So this type of differences between the American English and the British English. So my friends, this is pretty much it. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I hope you enjoyed the session as I did. Just keep in mind that we are available on different platforms. So we are available on Facebook, for example, and we always post some interesting posts there, similar to those that you find in the exam. So we have little quiz for you. And once you reach to a certain number, like 20 answers, we will give you the right answer. So it's something for you to watch over there. And by the way, also we give prizes on Facebook every once in a while, so you might win. So I really encourage you to follow us to like us and follow us on Facebook. Also, we have videos being posted on the YouTube. And of course, we have our website. And in case you need to reach us, here's our email, info@asp-school.nl. If you have any questions or concerns, you can reach us on this email. We wish you all the best. Thank you very much.